I won't be up here long. But I'm up here. And one of the things I want to get myself organized here a little bit. When I think about mothers, I think what a special gift and blessing to be a mother it is. When I think about mothers, I have a whole list of words that describes them. One of the first words that come to mind is unconditional love. From the time the child is in the womb, that mother's love grows for that child. She's never even met that child yet. She don't even know what that child look like. But that love grows as that child. Then my next word is teacher. As that child, when that child is born, what a blessing it is to have that child. It's a gift from God. You look at that child and go, oh, what a precious gift that God has given me. Now it's like, what do I do with it? It's like, I got him. He's here. What do I do? At that point, you become that guidance, that teacher for that child. It's not just from teach them how to walk, teach them how to either go to the restaurant. It's throughout their lives. Teaching them how to, as they get older, teaching them how to cook. And I can tell you this funny story on Janelle. As last year, Janelle's been trying to learn how to cook, prepare herself for marriage. And she's gonna learn how to cook everything. But she went to my mother to ask her to help do Thanksgiving dinner. Now, Janelle's job was to do the ham. My mother was going to show her how to do the ham. And in the process of doing the ham, she had the glaze, you put on top of the ham and everything. And she had the pan, and the ham goes in the bag. You put it in the pan, put it in the oven. Well, my mother gave Janelle her instructions to do all this. And my mother stepped out of the room. So when my mother came back, the ham was in the oven. And Janelle was all excited. I did it, Grandma, I did it. It's in the oven. And so my mother proceeded to do something else. And she said, let me check on the ham in the oven. She looked in the oven, and she said, Janelle, oh my, Janelle, what did you do, Janelle? Well, what Janelle did was she just didn't put the ham in the oven. In the bag. She put the pan, the ham, everything went in the bag. So when she looked in the oven, the pan was in the bag, the ham was in the bag. So my mother was, oh my. She said, Janelle, that doesn't do that. And she's like, well, what? You said to put it in the bag. She said, just the ham, not the pan. She said, you don't cook the pan. And as we go forward, that's why we have to teach them. Just for little mistakes like that, Have them in the kitchen with you, teaching them how to cook, teaching them how to do special little things. My other word was sacrifice. Some things we don't even know how much a mother has sacrificed for us. If we have 4 slices of pizza and there's 5 people to feed, the mother usually don't eat. she would pass out the 4 slices of pizza to her children or to her family. Sacrifices, there's so many different ones, seen and unseen. 2:00 in the morning when you have a sick child and you just lay down at 1 and the baby is crying at 2. The mom is up taking care of that child at 2:00 in the morning. And sometimes if the child doesn't go back to sleep, you're up. If you had to go to work, you're up and gone to work. It's throughout, So I'm going to wrap up. I do have a scripture I wanted to share. My scripture comes from Proverbs 31:26. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. Mothers are kind. They're kind-hearted. Women are natural, passionate, and affectionate people. As a child gets older and they move on, step out the house, you still worry about them. At that point, it's not so much as mothering, but it's more of a guidance. They become a friend. We are to set the children on the path that God has set for them. When we dropped Janelle off at Ball State, we dropped her off, we unloaded her, moved her in. Now, I wanted to stay, have her unpack and put stuff in the drawers and everything. My husband said, nope, it's time to go. It's time to go. She can do that on her own. But that was the beginning of her path. That was the beginning of her path. So we are to make sure we set them on the path that God has put before them. One of the little stories I tell about Galen. Now, I have 4 children. And Galen's probably the most one that doesn't want to have anything to do with me, in a good way. It's just, for instance, we were out shopping. We had been out for a while. And I said, well, Galen, I'm getting hungry. He said, me too. And I said, well, let's go get something to eat. He said, okay, let's go to McDonald's. I went, McDonald's? I'm not going to McDonald's. I said, oh, Olive Garden. He said, Olive Garden? I don't want to go to Olive Garden. I said, well, I'm going to Olive Garden. So he said, well, can you take me to McDonald's? Nope. I'm going to Olive Garden. So I drove into Olive Garden's parking lot. He said, can you get it to go? Nope. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to here to sit down and eat. He said, and I said, and I was proceeding to get out the car. And he was still sitting in the car. I said, you going to stay in the car? He said, yeah. I went, okay. I got out, proceeded to go in the Olive Garden, and lo and behold, here he comes walking through the door. And we went and sat down, and I said, Galen, all I was trying to do was to feed you. Now I could ask Janelle, Shantae, or any other of my kids, I'm going to Olive Garden, and I'm buying. You want to go? They there. They're all in. But little Galen, he's like, But he's the baby. He's the baby. So I just want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Mothers are so precious. There's so many words that describes mother. Wisdom, friend, sacrifice, patience. Oh my goodness, we won't even talk about patience. But I am done. So thank you for having me up here. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.